I just rewatched Dead Poet Society with one of my daughters, and uh, I'd seen it twice back in 1989 when it first came out. In fact, it's the only time I've ever gone to see a movie in the theater 2 days in a row. Made that much of an impact on me. I've seen it since then. I don't know how many times, but I've seen it a number of times since then, and it's just it makes an impact on me every time. I can't say it's made the same kind of impact on me every time I watch it because the first time I watched it in 1989, I was going through a real I won't go into the details, but it was a really hard emotional time in my life, and I was really down and really just maybe not quite suicidal, but definitely just wondering, what was the point of, I was lonely, and what's the point of life? It was just a really down time, and this movie was it was life changing. There's very few movies that I can say in my life that I would call life changing, and Dead Poet Society is one of them. The main thing I got out of it was it's very life affirming. That phrase might be tossed around a lot, but some movies deserve it, and this movie definitely deserves the life affirming tag. One scene in particular I was telling my daughter about before the movie. I told her about it. I didn't want to spoil it too much, but I told her a little bit about it. It's where Robin Williams, who plays the teacher, he took all the students in front of this glass case, and he was showing them the faces of all these students who had gone to the school years before, like many years before, and he was making the point to the students that these were all young men just like them, and they were now worm food. They had all long since died, and one thing you might get out of that is, wow, that's depressing, but you've probably heard one phrase that came out of the movie is carpe diem, seize the day. And that was the point he was making with that scene in front of the glass case. He spoke in this ghostly voice as if these young men were talking to them from beyond the grave. Carpe, carpe, carpe diem. There was this acting class that I used to go to, and up along the walls there were pictures of various actors. Some of them were really old pictures, much like the pictures in the glass case at this school in Dead Poet Society that were taken back in the 1920s. And I felt like I was in the movie. I looked at these faces looking back at me and realized that, wow, these people are dead. In the picture, they're young and vibrant and alive and have all their dreams and all this same kind of passions that I'm having and experiencing being there in that acting class. And I heard that voice. I just heard that voice from Dead Poet Society. Carpe diem. It's a dramatic movie, but one thing I was thinking when I was watching it too is it's hard for me to just classify it as a pure drama because there's a lot of funny parts in the movie, but then I thought, I don't want to get so much into genre because really, yeah, mainly it's a drama. If I had to be nailing it down to a certain genre, I'd say, yeah, it's a drama. But any really good movie is going to have elements of comedy and drama in it. So it's got both. It's got a lot of both. And Robin Williams, even though they did let him use some of his comedy chops and do a couple of his comedy bits, like he did a little bit of Shakespeare, only it looked like he was doing stand-up, but just for a moment. That's what was cool about it. It was like just for a moment. And then he went back into his teacher mode, and he was just so believable as that teacher, and it was mostly just a really subtle, great acting performance. The memorable closing shot is with the students standing on the desks, and one of the things I really like about that shot is that they don't all stand on the desk. There's a lot of lesser movies where at the end everybody turns to be cheering and cheering on the hero, and all the bad guys turn good, and everything's great, and everybody's jumping up and down and screaming and cheering. And in life, it just doesn't work out that way. Another thing that really can't be taken lightly is just how beautifully it's shot. I mean, there's just scenes that some of the shots, the nature shots, especially outside, lots of care taken in every shot. But I guess that all goes hand in hand with making a great movie. It's the detail. It's the attention to everything. It's the writing. It's the directing. It's the casting. It's the performances. It's everything. Everything has to come together. And this is one of those movies. I don't think I can really oversell it. Again, it's 22 years old, so maybe anybody who was going to see the movie has already seen it. But then again, there could be some out there who haven't seen it yet, and maybe you've heard of it or it had been on their list of movies to watch for a long time. I would strongly encourage watching Dead Poet Society. It's an amazing movie.